Okay, welcome everyone, and thanks for joining me for another special health focus Tai Chi and Qigong class. I'm just going to slightly fix the screen there. Yeah, oh, it's not right. Oh dear, this is a sign of OCD, isn't it? There we are. That'll do. Okay, good. So let's take right hand in fist, please, left hand straight, and pull back the thumb, feet together, hands together, and we salute. Lovely. Good. Let's open our stance and relax into the four corners. Let's see if you can glide gently through. I'm not convinced my socks are good enough contrast today, so I might wick them off if you don't mind. Just gently glide into the four corners and breathe. Keep going, please. It's amazing what you see on screen or don't see. Yeah, that's better, yes, I think. Lots of martial arts are done in bare feet. Not normally Tai Chi, but try it today. Breathe, please. Feel into your body and relax. Good. And let's change direction. Now, we're not really giving it enough time in this exercise to get the full benefits of the exercise itself. It becomes really rather like rocking a child. It's rocking the system into a state of nice, deep relaxation, while also loosening, limbering, strengthening, and a gentle circulation of energy as well. This is a brilliant wee exercise. No wonder Grandmaster Chen asks us to work up to 500 in each direction. I think after about 200 you start to really get the flow of it, but I'd like you to play with it, please. Build on it. Don't go to 500 straight away. Let's take one foot and gently rotate. Now, it might look like I'm just lifting and lowering my leg, but I am actually sending a spiral down, and I'm being mindful to keep the hips level. Let's change direction, please. I had really struggled with this one, and I got to the stage that I was in quite a deep stance just to try and keep those hips level. Good, shaking out, but when we watched Master Chen doing it, he was pretty much upright. His leg was just off the lock. And I realized you can release the hip down without going into a squat. So, something to work on. Good, change direction. Good, and shaking out. I'd like to do what the Chen group normally do as their first exercise. This one is quite challenging for people with coordination issues, but it helps to build and strengthen the mind-body connection. It helps to actually improve coordination. So let's try it. It's the same as the first exercise in that you feed into the four hips. But do you see the difference? We're keeping the structure of the spine, but we're allowing the spiral to flow horizontal. I always get that confused. Vertically, up and down. So in effect, the head counterbalances the hips. Now, this is something that you just have to play with. And it does get easier. You see what I'm doing? So as the hips come forward, the upper body goes back. As the hips go to the left, the upper body and head go to the right. I often think of a cocktail glass with a swizzle stick. Good. Okay, so Try to use shoulder width and level, and that helps you to balance. Good, let's try change direction. Now I would recommend about 30 of these in each direction. One year I was training with Grandmaster Chen, and I thought what he was saying, you could do all of the warm-up exercises 500 times. And I exclaimed, I went, really? And he went, yes, really. But then when I tried to do this exercise 500 times by about 250, I started to feel like I was going to throw up. So I talked to my teacher about it. That's Grandmaster's family student, a sort of level below the master. And she was saying, no, just the horizontal one you do 500 times. So I didn't ask his son there in training. That's one of the questions I could have asked. But certainly in class, he tends to do about 60 of everything in each direction. Good. Okay, so let's come back to center. We've done both directions. Can't remember. No one's giving me a thumbs up. But there you go. Yes, we have. Good. Okay, thank you. All right, so let's kick one leg forwards and step down. And we go forwards and backwards with a little rowing motion. Good. Now I'm going to show you a version of the leg stretch that apparently Grandmaster teaches. So this is for those who can't get the knees back yet. So that version is you feed the weight back and you can keep the front leg slightly bent and bring the hand to above the knee, lengthen the spine, and as you press into the hand, you feel the weight of the hand, the pressure going into the center of the foot, into the Yongquan point, the bubbling well. So that's Grandmaster's version. Can you see my knee is slightly bent? If you can't get the knee back, and then what he recommends is you gradually work on bringing the knee back until you're quite straight and you're actually stretching the back of the knee. Okay, so up we come. So you can choose at what level you're ready for, or maybe you're having a good day or a bad day. You can decide which one is more appropriate for you. So if you feel that you can do the full exercise with the knee quite straight, then of course we recommend that you do that. Chen Yinjun never mentioned the adaptation that Grandmaster showed one of my colleagues. But then Chen Yinjun is my age, maybe he hasn't felt the need to, or maybe he saw that the room nobody needed to do it, so he didn't go there. Anyway, let's do it on the other side, please. We're going to kick the leg forwards, step down, and cycle forwards and back. And breathe. Good, let's feed the weight back, glide the hands down to just above the knee. Check with yourself, do you need to bend the knee slightly, or can you encourage the legs straight? The idea with this exercise is that you encourage the legs straight. But if you can't, then don't. Good. Good, well done, and up you come. Just a little leg stretch. And Yinjun actually refers, I say Yinjun because it's easier. There's Grandmaster, there's Master, father and son. Yinjun, the son, he actually calls that exercise knee stretch. So it is, the idea is to stretch the back of the legs, to stretch the knees. If you think about it, the entire time we're doing our Tai Chi, we tend to be on bended knee. So the muscles on the what's called the posterior chain, all the way from the ankle and all the way up the back and all the way, yes, all the way up the back of the legs and all the way up the back, that's called the posterior chain. So when we're on bended knee the whole time, the posterior chain can actually shorten slightly. So the knee stretch is designed to help to balance that out. Good, okay. Let us, well, I'm very warm in here. I don't know how warm you're feeling there, but let's use the form now to complete our warm-up. So we're going to go all the way through the 24 form. We'll take it nice and steady. Don't worry if you get a bit lost or confused. Just do your best to follow. And if the wheels fall off, just give yourself a moment, breathe, and try again. Just join in again. But we'll just use this as our warm-up, as a revision. We'll not go too slowly. That was one of the things that I got in feedback from the day that Willem covered for me. I was told Willem went all the way through the form and he went quite quickly, which was actually easier to do. So yes, it's a balancing act. It's easier physically to go quickly, but you have to have your wits about you. So maybe mentally, if you go slower, you have more time. So let's go relatively steady, not too fast, not too slow. Let's come over to the right, please. And we lengthen up through the top of the head. The chin slightly down and back. And we take a few moments to breathe and calm down. Listen behind. Ready? Let's begin. Half step. White crane opens its wings. Now I need more space, so I'll just take it. We could add choreography or just step back. Ready, and hung, Li, G, and. I'm going to move a wee bit again. Ready, and turn, turn. Hung, Li, G, and. Single whip. And I'm going to move forward so I'm not off the screen. cloud hands. Fix the back foot, again, sorry, out of space. Fix the back foot and extend. And high pat on horse. Separate, kick right. Separate, kick left. Snake creeps down. Turn left foot, right foot, left foot. Golden cockerel stands on one leg. Pluck, a little pivot, release, and expand. Snake creeps down. Front foot, back foot, front foot. Fill the front foot for golden cockerel, stands on one leg. You may also need more space. Ready? And Jade Maiden Plays Shuttles. Half step, needle to sea bottom. Fan through back. Block, parry, punch, or ban, lan, and chui. Apparent close-up. Gather. And close. Good. Now that's about the speed that I would normally perform it, I would say. You may have noticed a wee jerk moment in cloud hands. That was my arthritis biting me. That was not enough of a warm-up, even with this roasting room. For me, I needed a bit more, and that sometimes happens. That I'd like to think, even if you're doing it right, no matter what, sometimes the arthritis bites. Maybe I'm doing something tiny bit wrong. I'm not sure. Maybe a slight roll in or roll out. Probably a roll out. But yeah. So please excuse that little jerk. It was not a martial kick or anything like that. Maybe you didn't notice it, but I did. Okay. So the question is, how did you get on, first of all? Is it familiar? And for those who are maybe not watching live, we have not actually covered the whole form as yet in this class, but most of the class have done it before, so we'll continue to chip away at particular moves, but we're just using the whole thing as a kind of exercise, if you like. Okay, yes, how did you get on? Yeah, I'm seeing a nod and thumbs up, excellent. And a happy, looks happy. Okay, good, all right. So recently we were looking at the separate, kick right and golden, separate, kick right and left. And spinning the room around so that you could see it. And this is an issue with Tai Chi, that it doesn't all face the front. So using a screen like this presents a problem, because when we're facing the back of the room, you're facing away from the screen. And unlike in a face-to-face class, I can't actually walk around you to be in front of you again. So we had been turning the room around to hopefully some use for you, though I know it can also be quite confusing. As soon as we say, okay, now the back is the front, I guess like, what? What are you doing? All right, so let us look at would you like to have a look at Snake Creeps Down Golden Cockerel, or shall we move on? Hands up for Snake Creeps Down Golden Cockerel. Okay, 2 out of 3. Yeah. And one kind of, Okay, let's give it a look. Now, as always, you can just do what you can comfortably. Actually, one of you was in class with me yesterday, and this was kind of what we were looking at as well. Okay, so for Snake Creeps Down, the way I was taught it with Master Dew was to remain upright in the body. So you'll sometimes see people doing Snake Creeps Down and they'll bend their back. And I was taught that that was a massive no-no, not to do that. And seeing as one always defers to the most senior teacher that you've been able to study with, I'm going to stick with that. Though I have had colleagues who say, actually, it's okay to lean forwards a little bit. From the martial perspective, it's always what is strongest. So if you can see, if someone is leaning forwards and they get a push from behind, they're going to plant themselves. Whereas if you stay upright and you get pushed from behind, the whole body can jump forwards. So I'm sticking with my guns that one needs to remain as upright as possible. Of course, any deep stance, think of a squat, the body does lean forwards a little bit. So it's not set in stone that you have to be absolutely poker straight, but please do not think of Snake Creeps Down as a back bend, because it's really not. It is more of leg work. So you can go down very deep and up is fine, but not the back and up. So the back can go a little bit, but think of it as leg work. Chen Yunjun mentioned this. I know I'm talking about him a lot, but I've just trained with him, so I'm full of beans about the good information. And he was saying a lot of martial arts have floor work. So you get people down onto the floor and you're wrestling. He says Tai Chi doesn't have that. And some martial arts would be critical of Tai Chi for that reason. But what Master Chen is saying, Yunjun is saying, is that in Tai Chi instead we build such strength in our legs that if we need to, we can go right the way down in our stance and still be strong. So if someone tries to pull you down, instead of going down onto the floor, you bend your knees. So you can actually stay on your feet, but go down and have the strength and the structure to come up again. So Snake Creeps Down is really that practice. It's practicing going as deep as you dare. Having said that, if you don't feel that you have great strength, don't be doing it. Don't go too deep. Doesn't matter how low you go, it does matter that your structure is correct. The interesting thing is, if you get the structure right, you don't actually need that much strength to go down. You will feel strong. And it took me a very long time to learn that, and I'm still working on that because my structure wasn't there for a long time. My standing practice was a little bit off, and therefore when I went to do Snake Creeps Down, there was no strength. And I asked Yunjun about this, and he said it's not your strength that's an issue, it's your structure. I have the flexibility, I have strength, but I was lacking structure. And you find that with hypermobility often, we just slide out of structure too easily. So I'm working on the structure and I'm getting better. I'm not saying I'm getting stronger, but I'm able to go down now much more easily than I ever used to, because the structure is there to support the energy, which therefore gives me a feeling of strength. So you pick how low you go. Let's open our stance, please. Pluck a hook, bring the other hand across, and we release belly, hips and knees, and you go down as low as you dare. You're more on one side, the other, and the other hand at the seam of the trousers, and then we rise. So this is our preparation exercise. Release belly, hips, knees, in front of the seam of the trousers, and rise. So this is called side horse stance. It's not side bow stance because both knees are slightly bent. And release. Good, so you just go down as far as you can comfortably. That may mean that you're not going down very far. That's absolutely fine. If you want to go down lower, it may be necessary to widen your stance a little bit, and then you can get a nice deep stance. Good, and rest. So that's our snake creeps down practice. I quite like to use it like silk reeling on repeat, because doing it once is not enough to get to grips with the movement. And again, if you're doing it on repeat, if you get very tired, if you start to feel very weak, that suggests that you're not in good alignment. If you're in good alignment, it won't be so taxing on the body. So play with it a little bit at a time, build up the strength and build the awareness within your body. If something hurts, it's wrong, okay, in general. All right, okay, so golden cockerel stands on one leg. Let me show you the sequence. I'm going to show you it in the direction that we're actually doing it in the form. So we have done our separate kick left. This is facing the back of the room. The right hand comes into hook, left hand to wrist, we release down and we expand, stepping diagonally back. We release, belly, hips, knees, and turn left, right, turning the body, so turn the front toes left, feeding into the left, right hand raises, heel of hand down. Then we pluck, bring the right foot down, and a little adjustment, everything smaller, step on the diagonal and repeat, release belly, hips, knees, turn front foot, right, turn back foot, left, turn front foot, right, feed into the right, and the left side comes up, and the heel of hand down. Okay, so let's do it. We're going to turn the room one more time. We'll do this exercise just a couple of times and then leave it and move on. We're going to turn the room so that you can see, hopefully, what I'm doing. So let's think. Yeah, so we're going to turn the room, what would be a quarter turn. So if we're facing, we're all doing it the same way. We're facing now, if facing me is the front of the room, we're turning to the right, facing the right, yeah? And we're going to do separate kick left first. So we're standing on our right foot, we scoop the leg up and kick, lean into the kick. Right hand in hook, everything smaller, everything bigger, we expand. Good, and release, belly, hips, knees. We turn the front foot to 90, fix the back foot to 45, turn the front foot to about 20, feed into the front foot, bring the right side through, heel of hand down, look past the fingertips. Good, foot down, raise the left hand in hook, and lift the left heel, tug it in a little bit, pop it down, relax, everything smaller, expand, everything bigger, and we release, belly, hips, knees. We turn front foot, back foot, front foot. Feed into the front foot, bring the left side through, lift, and heel of hand down. Good, so you're looking past your fingers. Good, if you just relax your foot down for a second, please. Make sure that your body is facing the diagonal. Your hand and your foot and your eye line are pointing forwards. Your right palm is pointing forwards. Do you see what I mean? I'm not square. and to the corner. Good. And relax. Take a breath. Does that sound familiar? Do you remember when we were doing single whip? Single whip is open to the corner, not square. See what happens when you square up? The shoulder gets tight. So we're open to the corner. Even though the front foot, the hand, the eye line are looking forwards, pointing forwards, the body is actually turned out to the corner. So that means you get a comfortable arm position that both arms are in front of you at 135 degrees. So see, in the same way, when we're looking at golden cockerel stands on one leg, the foot, the hand, the eye line pointing forwards, the lower hand pointing forwards, but the body is open to the corner. That means that everything's nice and open and free, whereas if we square up, everything becomes tight and restricted. So it's the same kind of idea. So we have a direction, but the body is actually turned, which also gives less of a target than if we're square on. There's more things to hit. So if we're slightly turned, it means that we can extend by turning further, and we are giving less of a target. So when you're standing preparing to kick, you have less of a target than if you're square. I hope that makes some sense. Good. Let's do that again, please, one more time, and then for now we will move on. Okay, so we're going to turn to face our right. Yeah, so if I'm the front of the room, we're turning to the right. And we're going to stand on the right and gather left and kick left. Lean into it a little bit. Make a hook with the right, everything gathers to the right. We make everything smaller and we expand to the diagonal in both directions. Release, belly, hips, knees. Turn front foot, back foot, front foot. Feed into the front foot, right side through, heel of hand down, pluck, foot down and pivot. Everything smaller, everything bigger. Release, belly, hips, knees. Turn front foot, back foot, front foot. Fill the front foot, bring the back foot through, and heel of hand down. Look over the fingertips and rest. Good. Take a breath. Lovely. Now, I'll just open it up to yourselves. You can have a wee drink, have a wee rest for a moment. Are there any questions? Is there any confusion? Is there anything you want to ask about that before we move on? No? Okay, good. Well, I expect it to be perfect then. Good. All right, so let's look at our next sequence, which is called Jade Maiden Plays Shuttles. As you can see, I, for better or worse, named my school after that. And this calligraphy here is done by Grandmaster Chen Xiaowang, they both are, and it says Yu Nu Quan Shuo, which is Jade Maiden Plays Shuttles. So lovely move, really nice. In Chen style, it is a flying jump with a turn, and it's really spectacular. In Yang style, it's still beautiful, and it's still got a bit of turning, but it doesn't quite have the same wallop. The other calligraphy, that was just Master Chen did that. I actually got him to do this one for me. It's bespoke. This one says, "Every day's a good day," which I think is a rather nice thing. Every day's a good day to practice Tai Chi, but every day's a good day, even when it's grey and miserable and everything goes wrong. It's a good day. We're alive. It's good. Okay, so let's have a look now at Jade Maiden Plays Shuttles. And again, I think the best way initially is that we do it having turned the room in the same way as the snake creeps down, golden cockerel will keep going in that direction. So we should be going that way, but we're actually going to go that way, just so that you can see. We might do it that way and then do it the way we're meant to. That makes sense? All right, so we're going to start with our golden cockerel position. So we're starting where we left off. If you want to watch it first, that might be an idea. So we're starting from standing on the right with the left side raised. And we're going to step down to the corner and twist into hug bowl. We come through center and step open to then block with the right, bring the left hand in front of the heart and press forwards. And then we repeat on the other side. So we feed the weight back, turning center, start to release the arms down and feed the weight forwards into a twist step. Release the back foot and step with some width. We block, rolling the arm, right hand in front of the chest and press forwards. And that is your Jade Maiden Plays Shuttles. I'd actually like to do it for you facing you, so you can just relax and watch for a second and see if it makes any sense. I'm not going to mirror, but it is symmetrical. If you want me to mirror, just shout out and I can do that. That's not a problem. Okay, so we're standing on the right. Left side is raised. And we're going to step to the corner, twist into hug bowl, step through center, look at the width, block, rolling the hand as it comes up in front of the heart, we press forwards. Relax to center, feet back, turn, feed forwards, hug ball, step, we roll the hand as it raises, in front of the heart we press forwards. So that is your Jade Maiden Plays Shuttles. Okay, I'd like us please to just practice taking the hand from hug ball and rolling up. So this is like a conveyor belt. You're not just lifting your arm and then turning, and you're not turning and then lifting. You are rolling the arm as you lift. And as I say, that acts like a conveyor belt. So if someone goes to punch you in the stomach, you can catch their arm and roll it up. And the act of rolling draws their arm along and away from you. So in effect, if I punch and someone blocks me like that, I'll end up open and pulled, and all of my body is exposed. So again, it has a martial reason. It also has a beautiful health reason, that the rolling of the arm is massaging all of the internal structures. So it has a lovely dual effect, as it always does in Tai Chi. It's martial and health at the same time. The reason that it's so beneficial for our health is because it's designed to be so beneficial for martial arts. It's efficient, it's easy to, well, energetic, energetically, what's the word? Can't think of the word. Economic. You're economic with your energy. So, and it's good structure. So it's all there. If it's good for martial arts, it's good for health. So the health practice, the Qigong side of it, if you divorce the martial arts, it can turn into a Tai Chi looking dance. But as soon as it loses the structure of martial arts, it loses some of the health benefits. So even though you might not care at all for martial side of things, I don't really, to be honest. I think it's cool, but I'm in it for health. But if we learn what it's for, we're actually going to do it right. And then we're going to get even more health benefits. So we start low, palm facing up, and we roll the hand up. Yes? Let's try it with the other side. So start low, palm facing up, and as you come up, you roll the hand over. Good. And do it again. Just relax that arm, roll up. Good. So it acts to deflect and to draw the opponent. Let's do it with the other hand. Not only that, it also acts to protect our bones from impact. So if you imagine someone coming in and thumping you and you just put your arm in the way, wherever they hit, all the impact of their hit will get 1 point and probably, if it's strong enough, break the bone. Whereas if you roll, so if they're going quickly, you have to move quickly, but if you roll, you will spread the impact across the two bones, across the entire structure, and therefore dissipate the impact and therefore save yourself from a worse injury. So there's so much to it. Yeah, so we have to do it right. Again, please. From lower, we roll up and relax. We're just looking at that one concept for now. Palm faces up and we roll the hand over. Do you see what I mean by roll it over? You're starting with the palm facing up, and as your hand lifts, the thumb edge releases and turns down, so you finish with the palm pretty much facing up, but having done a full rotation. Good, okay. Now the other hand is not doing much at first, it's just tracking with to find itself in front of the heart. Once it's found itself in front of the heart, we expand. So actually both arms are expanding together, and this is a key method of Tai Chi. This is one of the principles. If one thing moves in Tai Chi, everything must move. If one thing stops moving, everything must stop moving. But we do have different ways of moving. We can move, I know some of my colleagues don't like this word, but we can move passively. If you watch my upper hand, up to here it's passive, it just goes along with, and then it's moving actively. So that's fine. So just turning your body and leaving your hand where it is, in a way that's moving. So that's one of the methods of moving, as opposed to turning the body and leaving the hand where it is in space. It's not moving. See what I mean? Yeah. So as long as it's moving, as long as everything is moving some way, then it's adhering to the principle. But there's the passive and the active, the yin and the yang. So we start in our hug ball. Can you do it with me, please? Good. So we're in our hug ball and we start to roll the lower hand up as we start to untwist the body. When we get pretty much facing forwards, the hand will be in front of the heart, and then both hands are extending. Good. And then you can release and relax down into hug ball, upper hand going on top of the ball, lower hand coming underneath. Again, we untwist the body, we roll the lower hand up. When we get in front of the heart, we expand. Good. See it from the side. Continue, please. Relax down, the upper hand sits on top of the ball, and untwist, roll up, in front of the heart, press forward and extend, and release, relax, down. Again, untwist, roll up, in front of the heart, extend. Both hands start and finish their journey together. Roll, in front of the heart, both hands extend. Hold it for a moment, please. Look past the fingertips of your front hand. So your front hand should be directly in front of your heart. It's a heart strike. So you use your own heart as a measure. So that means your fingertips are pretty much just beneath your nose so that you can look past your fingers. While you look past your fingers, you should be able to wiggle the upper hand and see the fingers wiggle with your peripheral vision. So if your hand has gone too far back or too far up, it will be outside of your peripheral vision and therefore too wide for structural strength. So keeping it slightly in front of you, there you go, and so you can see it even though you don't look at it. Then you can release and relax down, and we go again. Block in front of the heart, both hands extend, but we keep it in front. So you're extending forwards, other hand is extending up. The body is no longer square. You have actually turned your body a little bit towards the raised hand in order to extend forwards from your heart. So again, it's this theme. You're extending forwards, but the body has turned slightly. Let's release, relax down, hug ball, roll up in front of the heart, extend. Release, relax down. Last time, roll up in front of the heart, extend. Well done, and rest. Good job. Relax. So, I see a lot of mistakes in Tai Chi. Of course, we say there's no such thing as bad Tai Chi, there's just degrees of deviation. So depending on who I'm teaching, there will always be some degree of deviation. And part of me says, don't tell people what not to do, because they might not have done it, and then once they've seen it, they might start doing it. But just to be aware, keep your arms always a little bit away from your body. Now, actually, that should happen naturally in Tai Chi, because it's this peng, it's this expression of peng. It's an ability or a skill that arises through good practice. So can you stand straight for a moment, please? Lengthen up through the top of the head. Bring the chin slightly down and back. Lengthen your fingers down. Breathe and relax. Feel into your fingertips. Now, can you feel that your hands have bounced a little bit away from your body? That's peng. That is the expression of expanding energy that happens naturally when we practice Tai Chi. So even just in preparation, you feel your arms have bounced away. Whereas if you let go of your hands and just let them drop, see what happened? Now they're against your legs. So if you're not doing Tai Chi and your arms are just dangling, they will naturally fold in against your body. As soon as you start, let's do it again, find all 10 fingertips, lengthen down, keep the top of the head lengthening up, the chin down and back. We keep breathing, we keep listening, we keep feeling into the fingertips, we keep relaxing. We are not carrying the arms away from the body, but it's happening. It's happening because our energy is awakening and expanding, it's filling. Good. Now we want to keep that going throughout our practice, and if you keep your hands a bit lively and we keep structure, it should happen naturally. However, sometimes when we're doing a movement like this, I see people doing that. Can you see what I've just done? My shoulder, or rather my armpit, has been completely compressed. So that's incorrect. We want to keep the buoyancy, the feeling of openness, without doing this, without becoming a gunslinger and actually pushing our arms out. We naturally have a bit of space. So one of the ways we keep that space easily is, instead of just keeping square and bringing the hand across and pushing forwards, that closes the lung meridian down, closes the energy to the arm. We turn the body, so we roll up, the hand comes in front of the chest, and to feed forwards, we let the body turn just a little bit. And if you do that, can you feel the amount of space under your armpit? I can get my fist in there easily without doing any strange pushy out thing, because I'm just letting my body turn. Good. So it's really important to turn the body in order to feed forwards, rather than keep the body square and push forwards and close this area. So, peng. Good. All right, just to finish, folks, we're going to do a little bit of work on the legs. So the legs, it's a little different from our opening moves of the form. We're doing more of a twist step, pushing off the back foot, lifting off the back heel, and turning the front toes. So it has a similar effect to if you're using what are those things called? A scooter. You're standing on a scooter and you're pushing yourself with one leg. It has that effect. The back foot is the push. The front foot is the fulcrum. So we lift the front toes, we push off the back foot, lift the heel, and there you have the twist. Lift the front toes, push off the back toes. So you're turning on the heel and pushing off the balls of the foot at the back. Lift, turn. Now, we don't just turn, we also screw into the floor at the front. So we lift the toes and we sink the body down as we shift the weight. And that helps us feel stable and it helps us keep our balance. So we lift the toes, push off the back heel, screw down into the front leg. So we want to get the body over the foot. As we turn, we sink. Ready? Screw down. Good. And you will see this again and again if you're doing the sword form. It's in the sword form as well. Let's try it on the other foot. We step onto the heel and we're going to feed into the front foot, screw down into the front foot, push off the back foot. Good. So we lift off the back heel. We don't try to keep the heel down. We lift off the back heel as we screw down. And again, please. Down. We remain upright in our body. Again, we do not lean. We remain upright. If we lean, we knock ourselves off of balance. Good. Okay, so that in mind, follow me. Let us do the whole sequence of Jade Maiden Plays Shuttles and see if you can cobble together all those elements we've just done. And then we'll finish. Okay, ready? So we stand on the right leg to begin. We step to the corner, screw into the front foot, hug ball. Through center, step. We block, push the back heel back as we press forwards with the left. Relax to center, feet back, turning on the heel, push off the back foot, screw into the front foot, release and step. Block, push the back heel back as you come in front of the heart and push forwards. Well done, and rest. Let us do it twice more. Once more this way and once in the direction of the form. Okay, are we ready? Standing on the right. And good, and rest. Good. So in yang style, as we press forwards, we push the back heel back. So you're getting this yin-yang. If one thing moves, everything moves. The back heel pushes back. We don't do it in Chen style. In Chen style, you keep the heel down and the energy goes into the heel, but then bounces back up and out through the hand. So in Chen style, you keep the heel down. If you're punching, for example, you keep the heel down. But in yang style, we want to express it and push the heel back. Good, now let's finish by doing it the way we do it in the form. So we're all doing the same thing. I'm not mirroring. We're going to stand on the right. Left side lifts. Ready? And step, twist. Step through, block, in front of the heart, push. Back, twist. Step, block, and push. Well done, and rest. Beautiful. Good work. Let's finish with a little twist. I hope you enjoyed that. There's a lot to it. There's a lot to Tai Chi. And you might have noticed I'm really enthusiastic. I love it, and I want to give you all the information that I've got. Sometimes I think I give too much information, and it's a bit dense and difficult to pick it up. Sorry about that. But I'm just so enthusiastic, and I feel that, you know, you can put on a smorgasbord, you can put on a big feed for people. They're not going to eat everything, but I don't actually see a problem with laying out all the food for them to pick up as much as they can. So I will repeat myself loads. So if you don't get it the first 50 times, you'll get it. Sometimes, you know, I could tell students something for years, every class. And then they'll come along to a master class with one of my teachers, and they'll bounce up to me and say, oh, I learned something. I'll go, oh, what? And they'll tell me the same thing I've been telling them for years. But you know what? Great. If the penny drops that day, happy days. Good, let's go down to the legs. Knees. Lower legs. Ankles and feet. And up you come. Good. Over the shoulders. So this little bit of what we'd call tapotement in massage, this little bit of thumping yourself is actually really beneficial. It's body conditioning. It actually stimulates your body to grow stronger. It's a gentle stressor, so the body goes, huh, yeah, I need to be able to cope with that, and the cells actually get themselves stronger. So don't be afraid of a little bit of thumping. It's actually very good for you. Okay, so lift up the arms, please. Flop the wrists. We're going to lift off the heels and do a wee bounce and breathe. If you're feeling a bit delicate, you can leave out the heel tap and just bounce. And relax down. And just let everything calm. Everything becomes still. Just listen to your body for a moment, please. Feel those lovely sensations. And let go through them. Let's gather the hands up to cover center. Hug the elbows in. And just feel into the belly. Breathe into the belly. And feel your energy is stronger. Beautiful. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming and working so hard. I have put you through your paces and you did very well. Shua Sang Ha, and I look forward to seeing you next time.